Trump's bold moves raise serious questions. Can he truly accomplish all that he's attempting in his second term? From federal worker buyouts to freezing funds allocated by Congress, his plans seem to stretch the boundaries of his authority, leaving many to wonder whether he can pull it off. One of the most controversial proposals is to offer millions of federal workers a buyout, paying them to stay off work until September if they resign. However, this has raised significant doubts about Trump's legal authority to use government funds for such a large-scale buyout, especially when military and postal workers are excluded. The move seems more like a desperate attempt to reshape the federal workforce than a legitimate solution to any real problem. Then there's his attempt to freeze significant federal funds, which was blocked by a federal judge after backlash from Republicans concerned about their constituents' reliance on federal grants. The White House lifted the freeze, but the issue of Trump's authority to withhold congressionally approved funds will likely resurface. A potential Supreme Court case could see the president challenged on the issue of impoundment. Though Trump has often won such battles, this one could go a different way, especially given the broader constitutional concerns. Trump's latest idea to detain migrants at Guantanamo Bay also raises eyebrows. His plan to house up to 30,000 migrants at the notorious prison, which currently holds some of the world's most infamous terrorists, is a stretch. Trump himself has justified the move by calling the migrants so dangerous that their own countries cannot be trusted to detain them. But this plan seems more like a politically charged spectacle, using fear-mongering to justify his harsh stance on immigration. Perhaps the most outlandish claim was his accusation that the U.S. government had funded condoms for Hamas in Gaza. Trump's statement about $50 million being sent to Gaza to purchase condoms, which were allegedly used to make bombs, quickly drew ridicule. Fact-checkers and former Biden officials have called the claim imaginary, pointing out that the story was fabricated with no evidence to back it up. This kind of rhetoric seems more about creating division and confusion than addressing any real issues. Indeed, confusion seems to be a hallmark of Trump's actions. His federal worker buyout plan is a prime example of how his contradictory statements and vague memos create chaos. While Trump presented his stance as a straightforward ultimatum, federal workers must return to the office or face termination, a leaked memo offered an entirely different version of events, suggesting workers could resign and still collect pay. Democrats have swiftly warned against these misleading promises, with Senator Tim Kaine stressing that Trump lacks the authority to implement such a plan without congressional approval. At every turn, Trump's ambitious moves seem more about pushing boundaries than achieving meaningful outcomes. His tendency to overstep legal limits and make outlandish claims only serves to heighten concerns about his ability to govern effectively. As these issues unfold, it's clear that Trump's tactics are raising more questions than answers.